In the ancient land of Israel, a storm was brewing. The people of Israel and their neighbors in Gaza were on the brink of war. Prophets had spoken of these times, foretelling battles and the eventual restoration of peace. This is the story of those prophecies, filled with suspense, action, and the promise of hope. But before we delve in, I will encourage you to watch and understand these prophecies about Israel and Gaza in this video till the end. Also, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, because not only does it help more people discover this video, but by liking and subscribing to it, you're telling YouTube that this content matters a lot to you and for others to see. That way it can be recommended to you again and again, and to those who need it whenever they want a reminder of this message. Now let's delve in properly. The Prophecy of Zechariah. Our story begins with the prophet Zechariah, who delivered a powerful message from God about the future of Israel and Gaza. In Zechariah 9 verse 5, it is written, "Gaza will writhe in agony, and Ekron too, for her hope will wither. Gaza will lose her king and Ashkelon will be deserted." Zechariah's prophecy foretold a time of great conflict and suffering for Gaza. This prophecy was a warning to the people of Gaza and a message of hope for Israel, promising that God was watching over his people and would bring justice. The prophecies of Amos and Zephaniah. Other prophets also spoke about Gaza. The prophet Amos warned of divine judgment against Gaza. In Amos 1 verses 6-8, God said, "For 3 sins of Gaza, even for 4, I will not relent. I will send fire on the walls of Gaza that will consume her fortresses." Similarly, the prophet Zephaniah spoke of Gaza's desolation. In Zephaniah 2 verse 4, it is written, "Gaza will be abandoned and Ashkelon left in ruins. At midday, Ashdod will be emptied and Ekron uprooted." These prophecies highlighted the consequences of Gaza's actions and the impending judgment that would come upon them. The vision of Ezekiel. The prophet Ezekiel had a dramatic vision that symbolized the conflict between Israel and its neighbors. In Ezekiel 25 verses 15-17, God said, "Because the Philistines acted in vengeance and took revenge with malice in their hearts, I will stretch out my hand against the Philistines, and I will wipe out the Kerethites and destroy those remaining along the coast." This vision represented God's judgment on the enemies of Israel, including those in Gaza. It was a message of divine retribution and the protection of Israel. The historical conflicts. Throughout history, Israel and Gaza have experienced numerous conflicts. One notable event was the battle between the Israelites and the Philistines, who inhabited Gaza. In 1 Samuel 17, the famous story of David and Goliath took place. Goliath, a giant Philistine warrior, challenged the Israelites, and young David, with God's help, defeated him with a single stone. This victory was a significant moment for Israel, demonstrating God's power and protection over his people. The modern-day conflict. In recent times, the conflict between Israel and Gaza has continued. The region has seen numerous wars and skirmishes, with both sides suffering casualties and destruction. The ongoing tension is a reminder of the ancient prophecies and the need for peace. The role of Jerusalem. Jerusalem, the holy city, plays a central role in biblical prophecy. Zechariah 12 verses 2-3 says, "I am going to make Jerusalem a cup that sends all the surrounding peoples reeling. On that day, when all the nations of the earth are gathered against her, I will make Jerusalem an immovable rock for all the nations." This prophecy speaks of a future time when Jerusalem will be the focus of global attention and conflict. Despite the challenges, God promises to protect and restore the city. The future restoration of Israel. The Bible speaks of a future time when Israel will be fully restored. Romans 11 verses 25-26 says, "I do not want you to be ignorant of this mystery, brothers and sisters, so that you may not be conceited. Israel has experienced a hardening in part until the full number of the Gentiles has come in, and in this way, all Israel will be saved." This passage indicates that God's plan includes the salvation and restoration of Israel. The nation will play a crucial role in the end times, as described in the book of Revelation. The New Jerusalem. The book of Revelation provides a glimpse of the ultimate fulfillment of God's promises. Revelation 21 verses 2-4 describes the vision of the New Jerusalem. "I saw the holy city, the New Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God." This vision represents the culmination of God's plan for Israel and all believers. It is a time of eternal peace, joy, and fellowship with God. The story of Israel's prophecy is one of hope, restoration, and divine promise. From the covenant with Abraham to the visions of the prophets, and the fulfillment through Jesus Christ, we see God's unwavering commitment to His people. What should be our take-home from this teaching? 1. Trust in God's promises. Just as God fulfilled His promises to Israel, He will fulfill His promises to you. Hold on to your faith and trust in His plan. 2. Seek understanding. Study the Scriptures to gain a deeper understanding of God's plan for Israel and how it relates to your life. 3. Live with hope. The prophecies remind us that no matter how dark the times may seem, there is always hope in God's promises. May this story inspire you to trust in God's faithfulness and look forward to the fulfillment of His promises. Please don't forget to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thanks for staying till the end. Until next time. God bless you. Amen.